Trans Justice Now. On a bright June day in 2005, some 1,000 people gathered in Union Square in New York City. Behind a bold yellow banner reading Trans Justice Now, protesters demanded equal access to jobs, to healthcare, and to housing. But beyond those real, tangible needs, they also hope to show that no matter how much violence and discrimination that trans and gender nonconforming people faced, no matter how many trans people of color were erased or institutionalized, they were still here. This March, the first Trans Day of Action, was the first of now decades of actions that celebrate the resilience and power of trans people. And yet, 20 years later, trans people are facing down a surge of dangerous discrimination across the US and around the globe. Trans people are being banned from sports, from public bathrooms, from receiving accurate identification documents, from necessary medical care, all as part of an effort to erase an entire group of people from public life. This is a moment that requires us, especially the cisgender among us, to be vocal in whichever areas we have influence, that we will not abandon trans people. We must make this known to our lawmakers, in our schools and workplaces, with our families, to our friends, in our doctor's offices, or our recreational sports leagues. And when we do this, we should try to be strategic, especially if you're new at it. Because listen, when people are newish to trying to solve an issue, they can sometimes make false starts. We remember the block squares. And while posting that trans people are valid on social media is a very lovely thought, it may not be quite enough to get us to where we want to go. But here's the beautiful thing. There are so many people who are not new to solving these issues. They know how to be strategic and they know how to teach that skill. There's this organization that's local to me that I've been involved with for coming up on 5 years now. It's called the Audre Lorde Project, and it's a community organizing center run by and for queer and trans people of color in New York City. It has 3 flagship programs: Third Space, which is focused on providing healing justice to our community; Safe Outside the System, that's kind of my home. It builds practices of community safety as an alternative to police and prisons; and finally, a program called Trans Justice. TJ has always been focused on building up a new generation of trans leaders of color, from teaching the history of the trans community in this city so that we can learn from it and build on it, and so that history does not disappear, to putting on workshops to help members learn how to look at a problem, analyze all the different people who have the power to change that problem, and build a strategy. The Trans Community School within ALP has taught its participants all the communicating and relationship building and public speaking and outreach and art and organizing skills to run effective campaigns for trans justice issues. And then those organizers turn around and teach more people. Maybe next they could teach you. It was Audre Lorde Project's Trans Justice members that organized that first Trans Day of Action back in 2005. And even that came out of a decade of organizing around healthcare and housing and all the other issues that impact queer and trans people of color in this city, stemming from the AIDS crisis in the 80s and 90s. And I think it's so important in these big, intense moments when everything feels so unstable and a lot of people look around and they see that something needs doing, but they don't know how or what, that we tap into some generational wisdom, that we see who has already been doing the work that needs doing, and we figure out how we can sustain that work. Audre Lorde wrote in Sister Outsider about how we don't need to romanticize the past in order to learn from it, but we ought to learn from it. We are powerful because we have survived, she writes. And that is what it is all about: survival and growth. I'm making this video about Audre Lorde Project because I believe that we are committed to the survival and growth of trans and queer people of color in New York City. And as part of the Project for Awesome, we are raising a bunch of money this weekend, and you can vote for Audre Lorde Project to receive some of that money in the places where links go. But I also encourage you to look for who has been committed to the survival of trans people wherever you live. I promise you that someone or someones have been working tirelessly and quietly, or loud and proud, and you should find them and follow them and figure out how you can sustain them, because trans justice is necessary now. Please check out all the relevant links below, and remember to vote for this video for the Project for Awesome. I will see you soon. Bye.